I don't work night shifts anymore. I can't. Every time a phone rings after midnight, my whole body locks up. My name is Sarah. I'm 26. I live in Columbus, Ohio. Well, I used to. I'll get to that. I just moved in with my boyfriend Noah. 6 months together. Still in that phase where everything's good. But money was tight. We were splitting rent on a place we couldn't really afford. So I took a night shift at a call center. Small operation downtown. An insurance claims line for a regional company. Nothing glamorous. 3 of us worked the overnight. Me and 2 guys. Derek, who sat 2 desks over, and Paul, who mostly slept in the break room. The office was on the 4th floor of a half-empty building. Fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. The elevator made this grinding sound every time it moved between floors. Our phones had this green screen display. When a call came in, the caller ID would flash. Most of the time it showed a number or a company name, but when it was blocked, the screen just read unknown in capital letters. Green light pulsing. That word matters later. We'd get maybe 15 calls a night, mostly automated claim status checks. The occasional confused old person. It was quiet work, the kind where you hear the building settle and the vending machine hum down the hall. Becomes a kind of company. 3 weeks in, a Tuesday night, around 2:15 a.m., my phone rang. The screen flashed unknown. I picked up, gave my standard greeting. Nothing. Not static or a bad connection. Just open air, like someone holding a phone in a quiet room. I waited 5 seconds. Hello? Is anyone there? The line went dead. I logged it as a dropped call. Derek glanced over. Prank? He asked. Probably, I said. 20 minutes later, it rang again. Unknown. I picked up. Same greeting, same silence, but this time I heard it. Breathing, slow and steady and controlled. Someone sitting still, listening to me talk. I'm going to disconnect this call, I said. The breathing stopped. The line went dead. I told Derek. He shrugged. Comes with the overnight shift, he muttered. 40 minutes later, 3rd call, unknown. I almost didn't answer, but it was my job. Atlas Insurance. This is Sarah. A voice on the other end, male and calm, almost soft. Sarah, just my name, nothing else. My hand tightened on the receiver. Who is this? I asked. Silence. Then, your red bath towel is very soft. The line went dead. I sat there staring at the green screen, the fluorescent lights buzzing above me, the vending machine humming down the hall. My hands were shaking. I have a red bath towel. It hangs on the hook behind my bathroom door. Nobody would know that unless they'd been inside my apartment. I called Noah, woke him up, told him to check every room. He was groggy and annoyed, but he checked. Doors locked and windows closed. Nothing out of place. I called the police from the office phone. They sent a unit to our apartment. Noah let them in. They walked through every room, checked the closets and under the bed. No sign of forced entry. Nothing disturbed. Probably a prank caller, the officer told Noah. Maybe someone you know messing around. They left. I finished my shift with the phones unplugged. Derek covered my line. 2 days passed. Nothing happened. No calls. Nothing strange. I started to relax. Thursday night, Noah and I had a fight. Stupid thing. He'd left dishes in the sink again. I snapped harder than I meant to. He said I was being dramatic. I told him he never listens. It lasted maybe 10 minutes. We made up and went to bed. Friday night, 2 a.m. I'm at my desk. Phone rings. Unknown. My stomach dropped. I picked up, said nothing. The voice, same one. You two fight about funny things. My throat closed. Dishes in the sink. That's what upset you? I couldn't speak. He doesn't listen. You said it yourself. The line went dead. I was crying before the phone hit the cradle. Derek called the police for me. This time they took it seriously. A detective came to our apartment the next morning. They brought a tech team. They swept every room, pulled the smoke detectors apart, opened every outlet cover, ran an RF scanner along the walls. In the smoke detector above the hallway, they found it. A device the size of a thumbnail, wireless transmitter, audio only, broadcasting to a receiver within a few hundred feet. Someone had been listening to everything, conversations and arguments and whispers. Everything said inside that apartment. The detective asked when we'd last replaced the detector. Noah said it came with the apartment. The landlord installed it before we moved in. They tested the device. No fingerprints. No traceable serial number. Commercially available online for $30. They pulled our building's security footage. Nothing stood out. The calls stopped. We changed our number, changed the locks, installed a camera at the door. 2 weeks of silence. Then a package arrived. Brown box. No return label. Addressed to me by name. Inside, a bath towel. Red, identical brand, identical model, and a shipping label underneath. Sender address, 742 Oakwood Drive, my parents' house in Michigan. He knew where my family lived. I quit that night. Noah and I broke the lease, moved to a different city. I didn't tell anyone where, not friends. Not co-workers. I told my parents in person. I got a new job, different company, day shift this time, different state. For 3 months, everything was normal. Then a package arrived at my new apartment. No return label, small box. Inside, a device. The same device from the smoke detector. Same model, same $30 transmitter you can buy online, and a note, printed. No handwriting. I liked the old place better. I don't know how he found me, but I know he's listening somewhere close right now, and I still can't make it stop. My name is Andre. I'm 29. A few months ago, I took a night security job at a gated community called Ridgemont Estates, about 40 minutes north of Charlotte. I needed the money. The construction company I worked for collapsed. Bills were piling up, so when I saw the posting, I took it. 2 guards worked the night shift, me and a guy named Cole. Cole was in his mid-30s, white guy, short beard, quiet most of the time. He had been there for years. The job was simple. 1 guard stayed in the booth, logging vehicles entering the gate. The other walked patrol through the property. Every 2 hours we switched. The neighborhood was huge. Tall pine trees everywhere. Expensive houses hidden behind them. A private lake in the center. At night it was extremely quiet. Crickets, wind in the trees, sometimes an owl. 3 weeks into the job, something strange happened. Cole was on patrol. I was sitting in the booth. I heard a scream. I stepped outside the booth, listening. Nothing. When Cole returned, I asked him about it. Did you hear someone in the woods? Cole shook his head. Probably a fox, he said. They sound like that sometimes. Maybe he was right. 2 nights later, it happened again, but this time I was the one on patrol. I was walking near the tree line. I heard it again. The scream. Then something else. A loud crack, like a gunshot. I radioed the booth immediately. Cole, did you hear that? No, he said. Just flat like that. When I got back, he shrugged. Sound travels weird out here. I tried to forget about it. Then the police showed up. A resident named Victor Hale had been found dead. Blunt force trauma inside his house. Detectives came to the gate. They reviewed our logs. Every vehicle entering the community. Only one thing stood out. A courier van. It had entered the day before the body was discovered, but the delivery company had no record of that driver. The man was gone. 2 nights later, I was sitting in the booth around 1 a.m. A silver SUV pulled up to the gate. A blonde woman was driving. She rolled down the window. "Hi," she said. "I'm looking for my husband." "Who's your husband?" I asked. "Cole Brenton." That caught me off guard. Cole had never mentioned a wife. I lifted the gate and let her through, but something about the situation stuck with me. After she drove away, I went back inside the booth. The detectives had left some photos earlier, crime scene pictures from Hale's house. I flipped through them slowly. Kitchen, hallway, living room. Then I stopped. There was a photo frame on Hale's kitchen counter. Inside the frame, Victor Hale, sitting in a restaurant booth, his arm around a blonde woman, the same woman who just drove through my gate. My stomach dropped. I turned to the computer, opened the security system. The main recordings showed nothing. Someone had cleared them, but the system had a backup server. It copied footage every 72 hours. Most guards didn't even know it existed. Apparently Cole didn't either. I pulled up the old recordings, and there she was, the silver SUV, late at night, entering the gate more than once. I followed the cameras across the property. Each time she drove straight to Victor Hale's house. Then I checked the patrol logs. Every single time she entered, Cole had been on patrol. That's when everything clicked. Cole had discovered the affair. He planned everything. The screams we kept hearing, they weren't animals. Cole had been playing them from his phone, training us to ignore the sound. So when the real violence happened, no one would react. And the courier van, that was just misdirection. Someone he paid to appear on camera. A fake suspect. I called the detective that same night. They arrested Cole the next morning. Turns out he had been planning it for weeks. But the thing that still bothers me is how close I was to him. Every night we sat in that tiny booth together, 3 feet apart. And I never saw it coming. "My name is Ethan. I'm 23. I deliver pizza for a living. Night shift. 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. It's not what I planned for my life, but plans change fast. When your ex drains your savings account and you need rent money by Friday. Her name was Megan. We dated for 7 months. When I broke it off, she didn't take it well. Showed up at my apartment twice. Called my job until they told her to stop. Texted me 40 times in one night. I changed my number. Filed a police report. Got a temporary restraining order. Only my job had the new number. 3 months of silence. I started to breathe again. The pizzeria was called Sal's, open until 5 a.m. on weekends. I was the only driver past midnight. My car smelled like garlic and old cardboard. The delivery app on my phone would ping with this specific chime every time a new order dropped. That chime is important. Saturday night, around 1:30 a.m., the app pinged 5 large pizzas, pepperoni and sausage. Good tip already included. New customer. First order ever on the account. The address was on Ridgecrest Lane, a road I'd never delivered to. The GPS showed it 12 minutes east, out past the last subdivision, where the houses thin out and the lots get wide. I loaded the pizzas into the warmer bag, pulled out of the parking lot. Streets were dead, just my headlights and the occasional traffic light, cycling through colors for nobody. The further east I drove, the darker it got. Streetlights ended at the last intersection. Houses disappeared behind tree lines, just fences and gravel driveways, and the sound of my tires on loose asphalt. The GPS said I'd arrived. I pulled up to a single-story house, set back from the road about 40 feet, porch light on, but every window was dark. The gravel crunched under my tires. I turned off the engine. The silence hit me hard. No insects. No wind. Nothing. Just the ticking of my engine cooling down. Something felt wrong. I sat in the car for a full minute, looking at the house. Porch light buzzing faintly overhead. Front door closed. No car in the driveway, but the garage door was half open. And inside the garage, lit by the spill of the porch light, a silver Honda Civic with a cracked rear bumper and a sticker on the back window. A cartoon cat waving. Megan's car. I hadn't seen it in 3 months, but I'd know it anywhere. She hid a shopping cart in a parking lot and thought the cartoon sticker would cover the crack. I was there when she put it on. My hands froze on the wheel. My lungs stopped working, just staring at that bumper sticker. Through my windshield, in the dark, my phone chimed. A message through the delivery app. Hey, are you close? Door is open, just come in. I read it 3 times. The customer name on the order was fake. A burner number through the app. The house looked empty from the outside, and Megan's car was in the garage. 5 large pizzas, not for a party, to make sure I came alone. With my hands full, unable to run, I put my car in reverse. Headlights came on behind me. A truck parked on the road, blocking the end of the driveway. High beams on full, blinding my mirrors. 2 doors opened in the dark. No hesitation. I turned the wheel hard left, drove across the front lawn, hit the curb hard enough to feel it in my teeth, bounced onto the road, and floored it. The truck followed, gaining for the first half mile, then slowly falling back. Then the headlights disappeared around a bend. I drove straight to the police station, walked in shaking so hard I could barely speak, told them everything. They sent units to the house, found the Honda in the garage, found the truck abandoned 2 blocks away. Inside the house, on the kitchen table, zip ties, duct tape, a prepaid phone with the delivery app open, and a printout of my work schedule with my shift times highlighted. They arrested Megan the next day. She gave up the 2 guys immediately, friends of her older brother. The truck was borrowed. The house belonged to one of their cousins, empty for months. All 3 were charged. Megan got felony stalking, conspiracy, electronic monitoring, ankle bracelet, and a permanent restraining order. The court gave me access to a tracking app. Her location updated every 30 seconds. A green dot on a map. Always at her mother's house. Always within the allowed zone. For 2 months I checked it every night. Green dot. Same location. I started sleeping again. Then one Tuesday night, I opened the app before bed. The dot was gone. The screen said signal lost, bracelet offline, last known location. I read it twice. My street. 3 hours ago. I called the police immediately. They came fast, searched the block. Found nothing. The monitoring company confirmed. The bracelet had been tampered with. Signal cut deliberately. They found Megan 48 hours later, 2 towns over, using a different name. She said she just wanted to see where I lived now. She's back in custody. Higher charges. No bail this time. But here's what keeps me up. Every piece of paper filed to protect me. Restraining order. Court filing. Ankle monitor paperwork. All of it lists my current address, my workplace, my phone number. The system that was supposed to protect me gave her everything she needed. And every night when I check that app and I see the green dot sitting still in its allowed zone, I think about how it went dark once, and I wonder if it's really her wearing that bracelet, or if she found a way to leave it behind. If you made it to the end, you already know. None of these people did anything wrong. They just lived their lives, and someone was watching. Sarah still checks her smoke detectors every single night. Andre still thinks about that booth, 3 feet apart. And Ethan still opens that app before bed every time, waiting for the dot to disappear again. Which story got under your skin the most? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if this kept you up tonight, hit subscribe, because I'll be back with more. If you made it to the end, you're part of this now.